Okay, everyone, so welcome again to another one of our lessons here. And in this next lesson, let's try to go and work with our sign in and log in or sign up buttons here. So let me just go and resize this. So we can see here, we have the sign in and sign up buttons here, but let me just go and apply some changes first here in our sign in UL. So the list that we used for, let me just go down here. So we have here the sign in UL class. I would want to, where is that? Okay, let's go apply some. I'm just going to delete this so at least it will not be making it difficult for us to look at it. So let's make it absolute, a position absolute. Top will be 20%, then left will be 75%, and the width will be 20%. Let's see how that will look. Red, orange, orange, red. Just so that we'll be able to see how that will look on our browser here. So there's the space that we have applied here, the UL, sign in UL list. Let me just go back here. Now, what I would want to do here is to apply some media queries to our sign in UL here. So let's go and copy our at media only screen here and go down here and resize this. You would see it broke. Now what I want to do here is to go and specify the margin, still 30 pixels. I want to decrease the left side to 15 pixels. But before that, let's go and copy the class selector here, of course. Then don't forget, we would want to select the selector, the customized selector here that we used for targeting that UL element. Now I just want to go and change the left side to 30 pixels, then move this to the top around 10%. Let's see how that will look. So we can see that it just moved a little bit upward. Now let's go and add the left property and reposition that to 18%. Let's save that. Okay, so we were able to move it 18% from the left side. Then transform and translate the X property here to negative 24%. And let's refresh. And let's increase the width to 90%. Let's see how that look. Okay, so we now have that here. So usually what I also do here, guys, is that if I'm having a difficult time looking for the specific element, I add some background color while I'm working. So now I can see that the UL element, the list element here. Now let's go down to our header sign in A1 here. Let's see. Let me go and select this and add a media query for this. So let's go and have our sign in A1 here. Let me just go and have the position relative. Then top will be negative 30 pixels. Left will be 20%. Then the margin, negative 1 pixels. And then the font size will be 0.80 rem. Okay, so that will be our header sign in A1. Now let's try to go and also apply MediaQuery for our sign in LI here. So let's go and try to select this and header sign in LI, and let's go select this. Let's have that standby, but first let's go try to work with our MediaQuery for our sign in A2 here. Let's try to go and copy this. Try to check how that will look here in our browser. Header sign in A2. Of course, we have to change that. And there we go. Now we have our header sign in and sign up here. And it's in the middle. So now we can see here, this actually helps me identify where the UL, the LI are, and how I positioned this two elements relative to the parent elements. So that's just what I did here, guys. So that's how I wanted it to look like. We can actually put some, so that means we don't actually need this anymore. So let's just go and Control C this, because that's the design that I wanted to apply here. Let's remove the background color here. Where's that? Control K and C and refresh. And now we have our buttons on top of our navigation. And once we resize it, it's on the side, right? Two different layout applied for two different sizes of the screen. So we have the desktop screen and one will be for a smaller screen. So I would suggest that you try to play around with the properties that we have here. Try to check what will happen if you make this relative. And then let's try to make this absolute. This is what I normally do. Try to test things out. So you would see the two elements are now here on the side, right? So we don't want that. So what I'm going to do here, I made use of the relative property here and here. And you would see they're on the side. But I also did some test here. So instead of using relative here, I positioned the UL to absolute so that it will be placing the two buttons on the side or on the middle here of the screen. So I suggest, guys, you try to figure things out on your own, and again, try to experiment. At least you'll have some ideas. Oh, this is what happens if I do this. This is what happens if I do that, right? So now, guys, that will be for this lesson, and thank you, and I hope you got some ideas here with regards to layouting your design using basic CSS for responsive web design here. So we have now two different layouts for two different screen sizes. So we have here the smallest. In my case, just take note, in my case, this is the screen size of my desktop computer. This might look different on a different screen size. So just take note of that, guys, because again, breakpoints, you will need to specify a specific breakpoint from where you will be applying a specific CSS design layout or CSS style so that it will look the way you would want the design of your site based from the screen size of the user agent or the user who's viewing your website here. Okay, so again, thank you everyone, and see you on our next lesson. and we'll be working on some of the other sections here. So thank you and see you on our next lessons.